This VAWatchdog.org news video is brought to you by Bergman & Moore, LLC. Former VA attorneys now fighting VA for you. Call Bergman & Moore at 877-838-2889 or on the web at vetlawyers.com.
Today on an all-new Dr. Phil, veterans scarred by war.
Shrapnel to the face, severed my leg.
Battling to get help.
I didn't know what to do. Should I call somebody? Who do I call?
I just have to tell you, that enrages me.
Who's to blame?
We suck at taking care of our soldiers.
And how to fix it.
Stop spending the money in Iraq and spend it on this kid right here.
They need help now. You know, I care about all the shows we do here, and I care about all the people that come on. But there is a group of Americans that I have a particular passion for, and today is a show about them. This may be one of the most important shows that you watch all year, because we're going to shine a light on the brave men and women that are putting themselves in a line of fire to protect our way of life. But the question is there more to that story?
American fighter jets screamed over downtown Baghdad this morning, while helicopter gunships hovered overhead, firing Hellfire missiles.
I assure you, this will not be a campaign of half measures, and we will accept no outcome but victory.
Tomorrow marks the third anniversary of the Iraq invasion.
The last 3 years have tested our resolve. The fighting has been tough. There will be more days of sacrifice and tough fighting before the victory is achieved.
4 years after the shock and awe campaign that started it all, the war in Iraq hasn't seen a break from the constant fighting.
Americans are marking the 5th anniversary of the battle for Iraq.
One day, people will look back at this moment in history and say, thank God they were courageous people willing to serve.
In 2005, there were at least 6,256 suicides among those who served in the armed forces.
No one would argue that this war has not come at a high cost.
We're talking about true heroes that are out there every day on the front lines fighting for our freedoms. But are we doing all we can as a nation to honor these men and women? We have a contract with them. We say, you put yourself in harm's way and we've got your back. We will take care of you. But today we're talking about what happens to these troops when they survive one war only to come home to a different kind of battle, a different kind of struggle.
Stand by, Dr. Phil.
Some say it's a hard life, but it's hard for us all. Always hold on.
In 10, 9,
Always be strong. Reach out for
5, 4, 3, 2.
Stand by, camera 6. Go, Dr. Phil.
You know, as we approach this time of year, as you can see by our set, our thoughts turn towards our families, holiday get-togethers, joy and thankfulness. But the fact is that there are soldiers who have put their lives on the line serving in Iraq and Afghanistan. These young men and women are going to war so that old guys like me don't have to. Now, some of them have incurred traumatic injuries. Some are suffering severe PTSD, and sadly, we're hearing stories about how some of them, many of them, may just be falling through the cracks. Now, Randy was severely injured during an ambush attack while serving in Iraq. His mother, Tammy, says that once Randy got home, he was lost in the system.
We were driving down a main road in Iraq when our truck got hit by an IED. They sent shrapnel to the face and severed my leg.
My son and I made a promise to each other when he left. When he first saw me at Walter Reed, he said to me, "I see, Mom, I promised you. I didn't die there."
My leg was still there at the time, but there was just so much damage. The doctors cut it off.
He was gangrenous. He was pale, and he just looked so broken.
I looked at myself, and I didn't even really want to be alive. You lose an eye and leg. I was just so bitter, so angry.
He just started to cry and said, "I'm a monster, Mom."
I met with one psychiatrist. The only thing he told me was, "You have anger issues." He told me to basically Google post-traumatic stress.
If I had to summarize the way I think that our military took care of my son, they lied to him, they used him, they broke him, and they threw him away.
When I first came home from D.C., the VA down there hadn't even forwarded any of my medical records.
It took us weeks to even be able to get an eye patch. He went for over 6 months without even being able to use a prosthetic.
Every day I wake up, thinking I'm waking up from a nightmare. And I look down and my leg's still gone and I still can't see out of my right eye. It makes me feel ashamed, embarrassed.
The bureaucracy of getting any kind of treatment is ridiculous. This young man served our country, almost gave his life for it, did give his leg and his eye for it, and we have to fight for everything that he needs.
Okay, so let's just get right to it. You feel like a contract has been broken with your son?
Yes. What my son did for this country, he almost gave the ultimate. He almost gave his life. He gave his leg, he gave his eye, and it's not enough. Now we have to struggle to get services. We have a satellite clinic that's only 45 miles from our home. But we can't go to the satellite clinic and get anything done unless we travel to the regional VA and get consent. How does that make sense? Do you have insurance?
Yeah.
You have a book that tells you what doctors are in that system that you can use?
Sure I do.
Why can't we have that?
Yeah, well, I know what you're saying. You need to know.
Why can't I have an insurance card that tells him, okay, this is what you have for coverage. This is who participates with the VA. Whatever you need, go there, get it done. We'll take care of it.
The question here, is this an anecdotal situation? Is this isolated or is it widespread?
No, this is not isolated. You talk to any member of the VA anywhere that doesn't live right on top of their district VA, and it's the same bureaucracy. You have to go in and call this office and that office and get this paperwork and that paperwork, and then maybe they'll send you the paperwork, and hopefully by the time you get the paperwork, it is now dated, because everything has an expiration date on it.
We have some heavy hitters here today weighing in, and next we're going to talk to the chairman of the House Committee on Veterans Affairs and find out how he explains why heroes are falling through the cracks, if in fact that's what's happening. We'll be right back.
We spoke to them at Walter Reed about fixing his eye, and he was very rudely told, well, what do you mean, fix your eye? It's damaged. It's always going to look like that. Don't worry about it. You don't tell a 20-year-old young man whose girlfriend took one look at him and ran and never spoke to him again that that's the best that's going to happen for him.
VAWatchdog.org, the nation's #1 independent veterans website. On the web at VAWatchdog.org.